what's up you guys, it's me Luke and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I post commentary and critique and reaction videos on basically anything that interests me on the internet, so if any of that interests you, then be sure to go ahead and subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload from me. Alrighty guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be reacting to your unpopular opinions again. I've done a few of these videos in the past, but it's been a while, but if you'd like to check out the previous ones, I'll go ahead and link them in a playlist down below for your viewing pleasure. But basically, I went ahead and asked you over on my Instagram and my community tab for your unpopular opinions for me to react to. But before we get into it, if you would like to participate in the future, just make sure that you follow me on Instagram, because that's usually where I ask for your guys' opinions on things. And then on my community tab, basically, if you just have the notifications bell on, you can participate over there, and that's pretty much it. But anyway guys, without further ado, let's get into it, because I'm about to dive in to your unpopular opinions. Let's get it. This first one I think is very relevant to things that have been going on. It says that there is nothing wrong with the fake mugshot challenge, y'all just hate James Charles. So if you haven't been around, there's been this like fake mugshot challenge going around that started on TikTok and then I believe migrated to other platforms, but it got a lot of hate on Twitter. Now, at first I didn't really know how to feel about this. I thought it was like just strange, like people making themselves have bruises and everything and taking photos like it's a mugshot, but I didn't think anything of it because I was like, you know, like special effects makeup, like it is what it is. However, I watched Hannah from Smoky Glow's video on this and you should check it out. I highly recommend it because what she spoke about in it was amazing. I also watched Amanda's video on it and she spoke about some really great points, and I think that it's a lot deeper than that, beyond just people getting triggered because of the bruises and stuff that can trigger people who have been through domestic violence and abuse. A lot of these people doing the mugshot challenge are white influencers who will never experience the same level of oppression and struggle that people of color do in America who are incarcerated at much higher rates, so it's extremely insensitive. But that's pretty much all I'll say because I'm not very informed on it, so I highly recommend you check out Amanda and Hannah's videos because they made some amazing points. But yeah, I definitely think that the entire challenge is just really insensitive. However, I will admit that I think it's ridiculous that James Charles got so much hate for it and then nobody else did. I did not see anybody hating on anyone else except him, but we'll get into that later in the video because there are a lot of unpopular opinions about him as well. So the next one is that Shane basically used other people's content to flesh out his own conspiracy video. So I assume you're talking about Shane's recent video on his Shane Glosson channel. Now, I did enjoy that video, but I thought the same thing. There was a lot of other people's content put into that video and I didn't really think it was necessary. I mean, I guess it's kind of nice, like if you were one of those creators would be like, oh cool, Shane also put me in one of his videos, but it almost felt like I was watching a compilation video. Like I didn't think it was necessary. There was so many repeat things, like there were people saying and doing the exact same things and then Shane would do the exact same thing. But if you guys have watched my video on my thoughts on Shane Dawson's content, that's kind of what he does. He always like stretches things out and fleshes things out way beyond than they need to be, but at the end of the day it's like, are we surprised? Like it just is what it is. I will say though that I actually did enjoy that video though. Okay, I saw a lot of these. It says Timothée Chalamet and Tom Holland are not hot. There were so many people saying that, and I get it because Timothée Chalamet and Tom Holland and every other skinny, anemic looking white boy right now is like the trend. I mean, personally, I feel a bit iffy about all of the unpopular opinions regarding whether or not someone's attractive or not, because that's so up to personal preference, but I get it because it seems like everyone's attracted to Timothée Chalamet and Tom Holland. Me personally, neither of them are my type or my cup of tea. Tom Holland to me looks pretty average looking, like just is what it is. I think Timothée Chalamet does have a very like beautiful face. I can understand why people like him so much. Like he's got a very captivating face to watch when he's in films and stuff, but I'm not necessarily like attracted to him. Like he doesn't do it for me. But that's basically my thoughts on that. I was trying to stop myself before I said anything that sounded too mean, but at the end of the day, attraction is a very personal thing, so I think it's fine if you're not attracted to them. Okay, this one's kind of random, but like it says cake and chocolate is disgusting. I could not agree more. I hate cake. The only cake that I like is this cake on my back, bitch. No, I'm kidding. The only cake that I like is carrot cake. Oh, I love carrot cake. Any sweet cake, like, ugh. And then even chocolate, I got like an Easter egg from my sister. I took like one bite out of it and I was like, ew, this is so gross. I don't know if like your taste buds change as you get older, but I just don't like chocolate anymore. This next one says Riverdale isn't meant to be taken serious at this point. It's got to be making fun of itself. I disagree with you. I think that's why it is so cringy, is because it's not a parody. Like they're taking themselves that seriously. The actors probably know how ridiculous it is, but the show itself, I don't think the show is self-aware. That's what makes it so cringy. Another random one, tomatoes aren't even bad. Most people like tomato sauce but hate tomatoes. I love tomatoes but hate tomato sauce. This one I thought was cute. It says James Charles is really starting to grow and develop as a person, and honestly we stand. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I used to not be a fan of James Charles, but I actually do like him. I've been really enjoying all of his new videos and everything. I think he's doing well. I think he's really grown and changed and matured, and I think that's awesome. I love seeing that with influencers. I'm a big believer that people can change. I don't know how to feel about this one. This one says isolation is fun. I like like having no responsibilities and knowing I have nowhere to be. Okay, I mean, I guess I can kind of get like not having responsibilities, but like this is not fun. I mean, even me, I'm in such a privileged position where I can still work from home and where I still live in a country in Australia where we're not like 100% isolated. But even then, like I hate being stuck in this box. Like, no, I'm not enjoying this. I don't know how many people are enjoying this. That's definitely an unpopular opinion, but I guess I could kind of understand if you have like a really stressful life and it's been nice to kind of have like a break, but then wouldn't you be stressed about not having a job? I'm confused. If anybody is enjoying quarantine or isolation right now, let me know and let me know why, because I'd be genuinely curious. Like maybe for a week or two, but like months and months of this, please. The thought just makes me want to break down into a little ball and like hibernate for a month, or like just go into a coma so I don't have to live through it. That was really dark. Anyway, next one is all arguments against veganism are just excuses and emerge from denial of responsibility. Okay, well, I used to be vegan. I'm vegetarian now. I try my best to be vegan at all costs. And I feel really iffy about this because I know like majority of people aren't vegan or vegetarian, so I don't want to offend anyone. But like if everyone in the world were vegans, it would like help so much with the environment. I mean, I don't think I know. Like it's been proven that the meat industry and the dairy industry are like one of the worst contributors to global warming. But I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want to like stir the pot. But then again, isn't that what these videos are about? I don't know. I'm gonna have to say that I agree. However, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my God, you eat animals, you're a horrible person. Like, no, I'm not like that at all. Like, do what you want to do. This girl sent like 5 different ones. She said, I personally don't like Ellen DeGeneres. The way she acts around celebs in interviews bugs me a little. I find her difficult to watch, uncomfortable, and in certain interviews, she forces celeb into answering questions. There has been a lot of stuff that has come out about Ellen DeGeneres actually not being a nice person, and a lot of stuff about how she treats her employees badly and all this type of stuff. And I am not surprised. I've always had the weirdest vibe from Ellen. I was speaking to somebody about this the other day, about how when she interviews celebrities or interviews anyone, it almost looks like she's not even looking in them in the eye. It looks like she's like looking straight past them or straight through them. You can just tell when somebody's having a conversation with somebody and they're not like fully taking in what they're saying. They're more so thinking about what they're gonna say next or what they're thinking about themselves. Genuinely cannot stand people like that. But yeah, I agree. I think we're all coming to the realization that that lady is shady. She's a shady lady. I don't know where that came from. Next one. We need more bi representation and there are not enough gay movies. I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion. I feel like we can all agree that there are not enough gay movies or bi representation and we need more. We need more representation of everything, not just straight white couples. Next up, Zendaya is overrated and in my opinion, she doesn't know how to act. Okay, I'm gonna have to disagree because have you watched Euphoria? I mean, I will admit I haven't watched Zendaya in a lot of things, but she did a phenomenal job in Euphoria. I think she's a great actress. I don't really think she's overrated. Like, she's so unproblematic. She's beautiful. She's talented. She's kind. I love Zendaya. I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree. Next up is Nikita Dragun shouldn't have a career with her repeated racism and blackfishing. It's disgusting. Yeah, I agree. If you watch my previous video, you already know how I feel about Nikita Dragun, but I don't know why she has a career. I don't know why she had a career in the first place. I don't know why she still has a career. I am confusion. Next one is everyone in Tiger King was crazy and the bad guy, I literally couldn't stand any of them. Yeah, I genuinely cannot stand anyone in that show. Like, I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but like if I had to choose anyone who I dislike the least, it would be Carol Baskin, but everybody else, no, I don't understand how people like Joe Exotic. Don't even get me started. Oh, I cannot. So no, I don't like anyone in that show either, except the animals. Another person said they like quarantine. What are y'all smoking? And can I have some of it? Because I'm not enjoying this. Okay, next up is being gay is a personality trait and I don't care what others say. When I saw this, I had to think about this long and hard because I've had conversations with people about how I don't like it when people make their sexuality their entire personality. And while I still stand with that statement, I got to thinking, I definitely feel as though your gender identity and or your sexuality definitely plays a part in your personality because there are so many straight men who have so many things in common because they're like straight men beyond just the fact that they're attracted to women. And then there are so many gay men who have things in common beyond just the fact that they're attracted to men. I don't necessarily think that being gay in and of itself is a personality trait, it's an identity, but I definitely think that there can be personality traits that stem from being gay. Does that make sense? Y'all, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I just talk shit. Anyway, next up is I enjoy watching Tana Mongeau. Even after everything she has done, I still keep watching her. Girl, you and me both. Tana Mongeau is my guilty pleasure. Her latest video where she got ass shots, that video was so funny. She's an entertaining person. She's problematic, but she's entertaining. For me, it's like if somebody's super problematic, like Trisha Paytas problematic, that's where I draw the line. Like, you have your entertainment level and you have your problematic, and it's like they kind of waver a little bit, and as long as the entertainment is up here, but when the problematic starts to come up here, it's like, sis, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. Next up is TikTokers have no talent. It depends on the TikToker. It's like saying YouTubers don't have talent, actors don't have talent. It is 100% depending on the people. There are people on TikTok who just look pretty and get millions of followers. It's like, okay, yeah, you have no talent. You're just pretty. Congrats. God blessed you. You were born with good genes. There's people who don't do much, but there are definitely talented people on there. There's talented talented dancers, and I'm not talking about like your generic TikTok dancers. Like, I'm talking about like actual talented dancers on the platform. There are talented comedians. There are so many funny people on there. There's talented people who create like these artistic things. These TikTokers, who are more often than not teenagers, put so much effort into their TikTok, and it's like they don't get paid to do it. Like, they just genuinely enjoy it and the creativity, and I just like that because it just stems from a place of being creative, if that makes sense. I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. I feel like TikTok gets a lot of flack, and it's because people just overgeneralize things. Trisha Paytas isn't even funny or entertaining. She's just a gross train wreck. I feel like we're all getting to that point now where it's like Trisha is no longer entertaining. Like, I cannot remember the last time I watched one of her videos. I used to, but now I'm just like, no, we get it, you're like fading away and you're trying to stay relevant, but there are other ways. This just ain't it. I think people are just finally starting to get tired of her bullshit. Already touched on this before, but this next one is the let's all hate James Charles for no valid reason bandwagon is getting annoying. Yeah, it's like super annoying. I mean, I get it because he used to be so problematic and stuff like that, but now I just think that there's a lot of like haters who are no longer seeing this massive bandwagoning of hate on him, so they feel the need to like drag him down because he's now doing well again and he's successful. Unnecessary hate is just ridiculous. Like, if he does something messed up, yeah, call him out on it, but people just breed and people like clown on him or give him hate, and it's just ridiculous. Like, just, do y'all have nothing better to do? I mean, I guess not, because we're in quarantine, but find something to do. Pick up a hobby, because hating on somebody for no reason is a really pathetic waste of time. Moving on. I hate when people try and come for someone when they say they want a boyfriend or girlfriend and tell them that they should just love themselves. It's annoying. I already love myself. I just want to share that love with someone. Get off my back. Wow, sis really popped off. I definitely agree. Like, I think there's nothing wrong with wanting a significant other. In fact, it's literally human nature, unless you're asexual, I guess, but it's human nature to want a companion and somebody else. It's in our DNA. It's in our DNA. I see it in his face every single— sorry. I think you can love yourself and still want to be with somebody else. And even then, like that whole like love yourself before you can love someone else. I don't necessarily think that's the truth. I mean, I think self-love is a journey. It's hard to be like, oh my god, let me just like self-love and all this type of shit and then find someone. I definitely think you can find someone and do that as long as you don't become codependent. And yeah, but I do also think that it's important to not always look for validation through others. There's definitely people who will just never be single and always be looking to go on to the next person because they're not comfortable within themselves. So I do think that's important, but then I also think it's understandable that people want significant others. I haven't seen one like this before. It says, does someone actually have good fashion taste or are they just skinny? This is interesting because I feel a lot of the times you'll see somebody and they'll be wearing like jeans and a white tee and people are like, oh my god, pop off queen, you look so good. And I'm like, she literally just like is wearing jeans and a white t-shirt. I definitely see some people who I'm like, if that outfit was on a less ideal body type to society standards, I don't think anybody would have been like, oh yeah, your outfit's amazing, pop off sis. The next one is news needs to focus more on global warming and pollution, not petty things over what celebrity does. I do agree, but then on the other hand, the news is just going to talk about what gets them the highest ratings, and unfortunately that's drama. Human beings love drama, and that's just that on that. I mean, look at you, you're watching this video. No, I'm just kidding. Next one is shipping real people that aren't together and or are only friends is disgusting and almost predatory. Imagine having a friendship fetishized and how uncomfortable it would make you and how quickly it would be ruined. I definitely agree. I could totally see why it would make a friendship uncomfortable. Like, didn't Harry and Louis from One Direction say that like all the shipping that people did for them made them really uncomfortable? I mean, it would make things really awkward. So I definitely agree with that one. Next unpopular opinion is Dua Lipa's music isn't interesting or innovative at all. I think she's really forgettable. I disagree. Let me say that first. I don't necessarily think that Dua Lipa has the most amazing vocals or the most amazing lyrics, but Future Nostalgia is a great album. You cannot deny that it is really unique. It's so different from anything else being put out right now. I love the title so much, Future Nostalgia, because like it fully encompasses what it is, because it feels like you're listening to 80s music, but it feels so futuristic and ahead of its time at the same time. I don't necessarily think she's like the most amazing vocalist or the most amazing lyricist, but I think she creates really catchy, cohesive, enjoyable songs that work really well together, if that makes sense. So I think that Dua Lipa definitely deserves all of the praise that she is getting right now. So I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree. Oh my god. Twitter makes things that aren't about race. Y'all, I agree. I'm sorry. Twitter is the most toxic platform ever, yet I spend so much time on it. Look, I love Twitter, but like people on Twitter are literally so defensive. The joke will have nothing to do about anything and someone will be like, you're racist, you're sexist, you're this, you're that. It's so freaking exhausting. Like one day I'm about to snap and delete that app, let me tell you that much. I don't really like to get involved. I don't really like to reply and make threads, but like strangers will deadass look for any opportunity to argue on Twitter, and it's so beyond pathetic. Like y'all are grown-ass adults arguing with people that you don't even know. Such a waste of time. It baffles me. It's entertaining sometimes for me to watch because I just laugh at them like, oh, stupid people. It's like I don't know, human beings are just so weird. I cannot sometimes with Twitter. People on there are just crazy. If you don't have Twitter, don't get it. Just don't, okay? Because once you're in it, you're stuck. Let me tell you that much. I love Twitter, but like, I almost wish that I never made a Twitter account. Oh God. Fan accounts and fan couple accounts are creepy. I mean, I think it's kind of cute and kind of flattering, but then again, I could never imagine dedicating a whole account to somebody that isn't me. Does that make me arrogant? I don't know. But yeah, I don't necessarily think they're creepy. I think some of them can be. I've said this so many times, you guys know, I'm not a big stan or a fan of anyone. I like people from a distance. I enjoy people, but I'm not like a, oh, fan stan. Like, that's just not in my nature. So next one is, I feel like a lot of drama and tea channels hold people to extremely high standards and cannot accept if they make a single mistake. For as controversial figure he is, James Charles could just breathe and piss someone off, and a drama channel could create a whole video out of it. Accountability is important, but I think sometimes these channels forget they are real people and not robots that do every single thing right. I agree with you, and I've made an entire video on my thoughts on drama channels. I made it a while ago actually, but since that video I actually unfollowed a ton of drama channels and just removed all that toxicity from my life and stopped creating drama-esque videos. I don't feel so much better off for it. I'm so glad I did that. This is excluding commentary channels. The only like true drama channels that I watch to like keep up to date with the influencer news, I guess, is Spill Session and Angelica Oles, and I really like those two because they're not malicious or hateful or super sensitive or picky. They play devil's advocate. They look at things from both point of views. They have a backbone. They stand up for their own opinion, and they don't seem to have any bias. I found with all the other drama channels that they just would have an influencer that they didn't like for example James Charles, and they would just constantly make videos about every tiny little thing that he did because they didn't like him, and then they would have influencers like Jeffree Star, who they did like, who they would ignore and let him get away with all this BS because they did like him. So I definitely agree with this unpopular opinion. But yeah, check out my video about drama channels if you want my more in-depth thoughts on that, because whew, I had a lot of thoughts on that video. It's a bit of a rant actually. If you go to a zoo or SeaWorld, you are a bad person, no excuses. I agree to a certain extent because I personally don't go to zoos, I don't go to SeaWorld. I haven't been to a sanctuary in a while, but I feel like if you want to see animals, go to a sanctuary. But I'm against zoos and SeaWorld and holding animals in captivity. I'm okay with sanctuaries where they take care of them and all that type of stuff, but I would like it if they would release them back into the wild. Sometimes they just don't, but I think a lot of people are just ignorant. I don't necessarily think that everyone who goes is a bad person, but like if you know what is occurring and what it is and you still choose to do it, I think you need to be questioning your morals a little bit there. I really enjoy the Twilight Saga, even though it has its flaws. I think it's pretty great and entertaining. People just hate it because it was popular to hate it. Yeah, Twilight was great. That was such a great era. I love those movies. They're very nostalgic for me. I've been wanting to rewatch them for ages. I feel like they'd be perfect quarantine movies. So I definitely agree with you. Being bisexual doesn't mean I'm attracted to everyone I meet. Period. Because I am bisexual, but I'm super picky. I don't even have celebrity crushes or YouTube crushes because I cannot get like a crush or like really attracted to somebody unless I like speak to them and know them as well. Like physical attraction is one thing, but even then I'm picky about that. I'm just a picky AF person, even though the whole stereotype is that bisexual people are super promiscuous and like all over the place and blah blah blah. So I definitely agree with you. Demi Lovato is the most talented vocally out of that generation of Disney. I agree. Like she could have had such an amazing career. I do think she's gonna have a bit of a come up. My sister showed me her recent song. It was such a good song. You guys should check it out. I think Demi Lovato is definitely the strongest vocally from the Disney era. I don't know why I thought this was funny. YouTubers with 50-minute plus videos that keep on rambling about their emotions in regard to explaining a certain situation strike me as entitled. Have respect for your viewers' time by editing it out and only containing the important info. Couldn't agree more. I mean, if you saw my... Why did I sound Irish when I said that? Couldn't agree more. Okay, if you're Irish, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That was so bad. If you watched my video where I did like a recap reaction commentary on Tana's video where she like explained her emotions with MTV, this reminds me of that because that video did not need to be an hour and 10 minutes long. It was so repetitive. It was such a waste of time. If you're just sitting and talking and doing nothing else, 30 minutes max, and do not repeat yourself, period. I know everyone thinks that Thank You Next was snubbed for Album of the Year at the Grammys, but the T is Norman effing Rockwell should have won. The album was a masterpiece. I agree. I love Ariana and I love Billy, but Norman effing Rockwell, that album slapped, period. But then Thank You Next did have more commercial-wide success. I feel like Lana is popular, but Lana's not as palatable to everyone. The okay boomer meme is kind of mean. Like I understand using it when a boomer is being offensive, but when people use it to just be disrespectful to the older generation, regardless of what they say, it's kind of annoying. I do agree with you, but then on the other hand, the older generation isn't that nice to the younger generation either. First of all, they get us wrong. They just call anyone young a millennial, even though it's not true. Majority of the people they're referring to are Gen Z. And yeah, they just always are like, oh, back in my day, oh, these kids are too obsessed with this, blah, blah, blah. I think it goes both ways. I think old people are ageist to young people are ageist to old people. It's just finally we have a word for them. I'm not one of those people that's like boomer this, boomer that. I don't do it. I'm just saying it's like tit for tat. This next one says, I think the movie Call Me By Your Name is overrated and in my opinion actually bad. And then they speak about how they think the book's better. I've read the book and I've watched the movie. The movie's better in my opinion, and I don't often say that. I usually say that the book's better, but the movie is beautiful. I watched it for the third time the other day. I know, only 3 times, but like that movie, if you've watched it, you know how much it takes out of you to watch. So I don't want to overdo it. The recovery time, it's too much for me. It's a beautiful movie, and the way that it's shot just makes you feel like you're there. I get why not a lot of people would like it. It's not like a lot of other movies. They meander a lot and it's very like slow, and there's not really a plot. It doesn't follow the traditions of regular cinema, which I'm okay with. I like movies like that. Okay, this one says Melanie Martinez is better than Billie Eilish. No. No. Just no. Alrighty guys, I'm probably gonna cut this video here because it's probably so long, but I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below what any of your thoughts are on any of the unpopular opinions that I said. I'm sure you have some and I would love to read them below. And if you have not already, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload from me. If you've not already, please make sure you go ahead and follow me on all of my social media. They are just linked down below, as well as my second channel and my merch if you'd like to check out either of those. And yeah guys, that's it for me in this video. I hope to catch you in my next one. Hope you're staying safe, sane, and healthy. And as always, I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you're in the world. Bye.